It was all peaceful until they arrived.
Can we just arrest everybody? Welcome to Sightless Gamer Hag. My name is Rachel. You alright? It's Murder Mystery Monday once again. Chapter 7, The Family. We learned a lot of surprising things in the last chapter. So the blackmailer has been uncovered. It was the Countess Margot. Hopefully we'll find out why. We've also discovered that Monsieur Sterling lied to us, that he didn't make any phone calls because the phones lines have been down all weekend, and there's potentially a conspiracy with the staff. So we're going to do a little bit of digging. My patience has grown thin. The guests and the staff of this house think it's acceptable to lie to my face when questioned and obstruct my investigation. But no more. We shall see how Monsieur Sterling and his staff fare under some pressure. Everyone's been lying to us. Everybody. They've been hiding stuff. They've been lying. They've just been misleading. It's possibly because everyone hated the Major. I've been lied to for the last time. My suspicions initially led me to the guests, but now they are firmly placed on the staff. Monsieur Sterling and Mademoiselle Rihanna cannot hide behind their lies anymore. Oh, we found out as well that Mademoiselle Rihanna is the sister of the fiancé of the other member of staff who died. And it turns out that he died potentially at the hands of the Major's thugs during a riot. So we have Rihanna. We have Archibald. So we're going to go and speak to them. One thinks. Okay. Right. Where would everybody be? Possibly. Where would everybody be? We can't go in there. We've been in there. What's this room? First floor hall. Oh yeah, we're tucked away in a little corner, aren't we? It looks like Elizabeth is on her way to see me, but it's such a late hour. So this is Elizabeth. She was in a secret relationship with Luke in the beginning, and it was hidden. Mademoiselle was not happy about this, so they broke it off. Well, they didn't break it off. He left, and he's the one who died.
Mademoiselle, what a pleasure to see you.
Detective,
It is a rather late hour to be wandering the halls.
Oh, yes, of course. I do not feel myself, Detective.
If that is the case, you should be resting. Allow me to help.
You're going to ask her why
That's
she's...
quite all right. I will see to my duties and return to bed.
I mean,
Lizzie, excuse me, Elizabeth. Lady Van den Bosch has been waiting for some time now.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Detective Poirot was just...
I'll see to the detective. You just head on up. Off you go.
Interesting.
Detective.
Could she have done
Not
that?
me, mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle Elizabeth is certainly not herself, though the death of the Major has brought up uncomfortable memories of her beloved Luke. But it may be something else. Had him like a mother hen, Archibald, like...
I'm sorry about her, Detective. As you can see, she is still not back to her usual bubbly self.
I mean, her fiancé died.
This weekend seems to have taken quite a toll on her.
She'll be right as rain in a couple of days. Now, what can I help you with?
You're lying.
As if by magic, you appeared when needed. I would like to speak with you and the remaining staff. If you could gather them in the staff pantry.
At this hour, Detective? Is that really necessary?
Yeah.
I shall be the one that determines what is and what is not necessary, and this is very much the former.
Keep you on your
Yes,
toes,
wish,
matey.
detective. I'll see if Inge is finished preparing for breakfast.
Okay.
And Mademoiselle Rihanna?
Yes, of course. I'll fetch her from the kitchen. Elizabeth may be some time with the lady of the house. Perhaps you'd like to start with us?
Being very protective of Elizabeth there.
I shall speak with Mademoiselle Elizabeth when her duties are complete.
Okay.
While I am gathering the staff, Mr. Beckers is in the library. If you wish to join him, I could bring you both a nightcap.
I wish to keep a clear head, but there is something I wish to discuss with Monsieur Beckers.
Oh, yeah. This is my opportunity to confront Monsieur Beckers about his dealings or lack thereof with Monsieur de Silva without being disturbed. Let's get to the bottom of this contract. So, last time we were searching everybody's rooms, and in Ernesto's room there was a partially drafted or partially signed contract between Hugo and Ernesto that Hugo hadn't signed. So Hugo is the leader of the union that for the factory that Ernesto owns, and he's been avoiding him. So let's go find out why Mr. Beckers has been avoiding Mr. de Silva. Where are you, sir? Ooh, book. Okay, we'll look at that. Hello, hello.
Monsieur Beckers, it is rather late. The other guests have already retired to their rooms.
I didn't even see the time. It's easy to lose oneself in a library this impressive.
That is something we can agree on, monsieur.
I suppose I should be heading.
A moment, monsieur. There are some matters that we must discuss.
Yes.
Oh, what is it, detective?
I did not realise your relationship with Mademoiselle Conrad was so business orientated. I was wondering, did your speech go the way you expected? I understand Monsieur de Silva has prepared a deal. Let's just go from the top.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Her proposal to make you somewhat of a star, a figurehead for the working man. What would you call that?
There was certainly no talk of making me a star. That is not the type of man I am. She wanted to write a piece on my work with the union, and I was happy to oblige.
Okay. Monsieur Beckers has always appeared to have the worker intentions at the forefront of his decisions. But perhaps the thought of being remembered for something great was too much for him to pass up. Okay. I was wondering, did your speech go the way you expected?
I'm not sure what speech.
When
You may
were
save your
writing.
false ramblings for your next audience. I am aware you spoke with the Major yesterday.
Whoever told you that has it wrong, detective.
Please, monsieur. The truth.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Yes, the Major and I spoke, but it was not for long.
What was the manner of your conversation? From what I understand, it was not a light-hearted chat. So, we discovered in the last episode that there had been an incident during the strike that had resulted in a riot and the death of 8 men. That seems to have been instigated by a militia that the Major had formed on the behest of Ernesto, Mr. de Silva, under the guise of security. And they basically came in and they had weapons and they charged the strikers that led to a riot, and then some people died, including Luke. So
I was trying to convince him to speak with Ernesto. It's time we brought the strikes to an end.
well, he didn't want the strikes to end because he was getting paid to be a
And that
menace.
was best approached by a shouting match?
He wouldn't listen to a word I said. I spent so long preparing how I was going to convince him, but men like him are only swayed by one thing: money.
That's true. Monsieur Beckers is not wrong. Had he tried to grease the Major's palm, perhaps he would have been more successful.
It is said that money is the root of all evil, but it can also be a rather powerful bargaining chip.
Money is neutral. Money is neutral. It's what you do with it. You can either do great good, or you can do great evil.
Well, he was bargaining
not the
with
money that makes
people's
you do it.
lives. If he had acted sooner, none of those men, my men, would have to die.
Yeah, I think he wanted that though. The major oversaw security at the factories. Could he have done more to stop the strikes turning violent? I think he wanted them to turn violent because it's kind of a win-win for him. Either the strikes keep going, there's more violence, he gets paid more for security, or he gets paid to keep it quiet that they started the violence. You know what I mean? I understand Monsieur de Silva's prepared to deal.
It was an insult.
And that is why you did not sign it?
I didn't sign it because the workers deserve so much more, not his pathetic attempts to get them back to work.
Did you think there was a chance for a better deal to be made?
I know there was. He's the pompous
Historically,
swine that cares for
yes.
only himself and filling his pockets.
I'm sure I've heard that description of Monsieur de Silva before, or at least something similar. Push on Jacqueline's influence over Hugo.
Mademoiselle Conrad can be quite convincing, can she not?
She has certainly taken several wealthy business partners by surprise with her knowledge and prowess. She knows how to use her womanly powers to get what she wants.
She's got to use every weapon in her arsenal, you know what I mean?
But she did not surprise or use you.
Me? Used me? Don't be ridiculous, detective. There were no games played at my expense.
Monsieur Beckers has quite a way with words and is a fan of his own voice. Perhaps I should allow him the opportunity to speak and open up without too much interruption and forcefulness. Curious or suggestive? So Curious says, even though she was able to convince you not to sign a deal. Suggestive, I'm sure many have been persuaded by her feminine prowess. Let's go with Curious.
No, it just reminded me of what I was fighting for.
I feel like if we talk about feminine prowess, that would have got his back up. You were used, antagonistic, direct. You claim that you refused Monsieur de Silva's deal as it was not adequate for your men. That, I think that massages his ego a
and
bit
I stand
more.
by that. It was an insult.
A rather bold move to make such a decision on your own.
They probably had terms that they were willing to accept, that they had decided collectively. That's usually what happens. Because the union leader is not the one who's in charge making decisions. He's normally just the voice of the collective. Ooh. Accusing. Are you prepared to take responsibility for your actions or lack thereof? Your job is to support the workers, but nothing you have done has got them any closer to the results you promised. Ooh, yeah, let's have a little jab at him.
Perfect, but I've done everything I can.
Your efforts fell short in every respect. You claim to be the voice of the people, but you care about no one's voice or benefits but your own.
Where does that accusation come from?
It's not as easy as just signing a piece of paper, detective. It is a heavy weight to bear on one's shoulders. I consulted with others.
You yourself spoke of Mademoiselle Conrad's cunning in business.
And I told you, I was not one of her targets.
Tell me then, what was it she reminded you of? The acclaimed man of the people you would be known as if you pushed the factory owners for more?
It wasn't like that at all.
From where I am standing, it was she that was manipulating the terms of the deal, and you in the process.
I mean, if it was a shit deal, it was a shit deal, you know what I mean?
You were merely her pawn.
Okay, yes, I know. I shouldn't have listened to her. But what else could I do? Remain an unknown my whole life? I didn't mean for anyone to get hurt.
What?
It may not have been your intention, but we both know the result. You rolled the dice with those men's lives for fame, and you lost.
Do you know what though? I feel like regardless of who had been in charge, the circumstances would have been the same. Because the problem is not the union leader. They had a problem with the factory workers. Pardon my intrusion, but you are from a large family.
What does that have to do with anything?
Just asking.
I have often wondered about the competition siblings face in a large family.
When you're young, it is the best feeling to know you have family that will stand by you, without even being asked. It is not until everyone starts carving their own path that you realize you're walking your solo, and those that were beside you are now miles away. My older brothers were the athletes of the family. They both played soccer, and were the infatuation of every teenage girl. I'm sure you have seen the type.
Oui, monsieur. But I can assure you that was not I.
Then there was me. Quiet, timid, a shadow of the Becker brothers. My voice and very presence was forgotten and ignored. Nothing I could say or do would ever reach the bar they had set. But I always knew I was destined for great things. Years passed, and now that I no longer stood in the colossal ombre of my brothers, I could become my own man. When the position of union leader was posted, it was my chance to finally be heard. You hear politicians speak of the little or the common man? Well, that was me. And I knew what we wanted and what we needed. When I spoke, others listened. I held their gaze with a sense of pride, a sense that what I was doing was for the greater good.
Well, to be fair, if he had a talent for this, then he didn't really need her, because he would have got where he needed to
It was
up his
supposed
own
to be my
esteem.
crowning achievement. Lead the men to victory over the money-grabbing oppressors. But instead, all I did was lead them to their deaths.
That I can't help but feel that that was not Hugo's fault. That was not his fault. He was doing what he believed was right. How could he have known that they were going to bring a militia in? How could he have known?
Monsieur, it was not at your hands that these men died. The blame cannot lie solely on your shoulders.
I don't think it should
Those
lie on his shoulders at
responsible
all.
will be punished for their crimes. That you must trust.
Monsieur Becker's story is one of fighting to have one's voice heard, be it a single or one of the masses. I'm afraid that he may be remembered for what he did, not in the way he so hoped. I don't know, you know. I don't know. Because whoever had been in charge, it would have been the same regardless, because it was about the factory and the money. It wasn't about the union or anything like that. It was about another man coming in, like, making a decision that to protect his money, to try and get what he wanted, he brought in thugs and then was surprised that they behaved like thugs, you know what I mean? Well, speaking with Monsieur Becker was not the reason for me being up at this hour. I was able to fill in some of the blanks regarding the Major, but not in getting any closer to discovering his killer. Perhaps the staff living quarters will. Okay. Let's go to the staff living quarters. I think the blame for what happened during that riot can be solely put at the feet of the Major. Potentially with the support of Mr. De Silva, because they're the ones who turned up armed. They're the ones who, like, started everything. So let's find, where are the staff quarters? Ah, there we go. To staff quarters. Okay. Oh, well, they all, these are terrible. Terrible. What have we got here? Abandoned clothes. Let's look at them. A rather luxurious jacket. The initials read FH, Felix Hagen. Are these scruffy boots his as well? Why would they be left here though? This feels from... There's something... Wasn't the Major seen outside? It's just like a little tickle in my brain. A war medal that I assume must belong to the Major. The items I've found are most intriguing and require an explanation that I believe only the staff can give. I shall meet them in the pantry. Let's have a little look.
Detective, what can we do for you?
Stop flipping lying to me
You
for a
can help me
start.
by telling the truth, and in the process, help yourselves.
Oh, she didn't like that.
Sorry, Detective. It's a bit late in the night for riddles.
It is no riddle, monsieur.
Smug
If I
bugger.
do not receive the truth, you shall all be charged as accessories to murder.
Detective, I think maybe you have been locked in this house for too long. We have already...
You have told me a version, and now I require honesty.
Dun dun dun. Right. We have my map. Oh, dig deeper into Archibald. Right. Let's have a wee look. So... Yeah, he did. Hugo saw the Major outside, and the Major... So it wasn't the Major, it was somebody dressed up as him.
I would say a moment
Wow.
of genius.
The Major would not have left such a fine coat in the staff area. Someone must have worn it. More importantly, however, who wore the Major's clothes? Okay. What else do we have? Staff may be involved in the murder. They might... I think they... Inspect the staff quarters. Talk to Hugo. What else do we have? Abandoned clothes. Worn out boots. Just zoom out a sec. Oh, I've got some more here. Elizabeth is quite upset. The medal. Archibald staged the phone call. Rihanna claims to have taken ice to the Major.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
The theory that the Major has been killed during dinner was nothing but a ruse. Why are the staff covering up the real time of death? I have a sad... I hope I'm not right. I have a feeling about who it could be. And I kind of hope that I'm not right. Staff covering for the real time of the death. Kind of hope that I'm not right. Because that would be really sad. Right. Okay. Yeah, smug bugger.
Monsieur Sterling, is there anything you would like to add to your story?
Like the fact none of the phone lines
I'm
work.
not sure what you think I have done, Detective.
Lied to my face.
Let us not string out this charade any longer.
The telephone the call the Major received.
From his associate. I've already told you, Detective. I don't know who it was.
Well,
worry yourself on
must have been
such
using
details now.
telepathy.
I suppose they were lucky to have called when they did. Otherwise, they may not have gotten through at all, with the telephone lines being down as of yesterday.
Boom.
Aye, Detective. Lucky, I guess.
Monsieur Sterling is no fool. I believe he is aware I suspect him of something. Perhaps some carefully worded questions are all that is needed for him to slip up. You were the last to see the Major alive when you brought him the bottle of whiskey in his study, correct?
Whiskey?
You took a bottle of whiskey to the Major. You spoke with Monsieur Demire en route.
Aye, of course. It was a bottle he picked up from his last visit to Scotland. Rather smoky number from the Highlands. He was saving it for a worthy occasion. Drowning his sorrows must have been fitting enough.
At first he does not remember a bottle at all, and as if by magic he recalls the exact details. 'Cause he's lying.
Or was it the one from the West Coast? You'll have to excuse my memory, Detective. It's not what it used to be.
Can you explain why a medal belonging to the Major was amongst your belongings? Oh, this is definitely...
Thank you, Detective. I've been looking everywhere for it.
If I had lost a war medal, I would not stop until I found it.
It's not what you think. I was...
Exploiting a dead man's military achievements for your own personal gain?
What?
Nothing of the sort. He asked me to clean them up. I must have dropped it into my pocket when I was putting them back. An honest mistake.
Really? Never have I heard such a pathetic excuse for explain a stolen item in one's possession. I would expect a better lie from an enfant. Cannot claim to be an expert, but I would presume a medal like this would be quite some value.
No. Probably.
Your father was in the military for many years. That is what you told me.
He was.
And your family still keep his medals?
They were sold.
And why was that, monsieur?
Is my family on trial now, Detective?
Shut up.
Only you, monsieur. And I repeat my question.
Always smart. He's a smart boy.
Because we needed money.
Okay.
Voila.
Monsieur Stelling was well aware of the medal's value when it found its way into his belongings. You claim the Major asked you to clean his medals for display purposes.
No, he keeps them safe with some of his old military documentation.
Is that a typical job for the head butler?
He trusts me to do a good job. I told him I used to clean my father's, so he asked me to do the same.
And where does he keep these items?
In the storage room. I know where everything is, so it's just easier if I fetch them for him as and when he needs them.
Interesting. I do not recall seeing any military memorabilia or keepsakes when I was in the storage room. Could there be another storage room they speak? Are you happy here? There could be at the Van Bosch house.
It's certainly better than my last.
You are paid a fitting wage for the work that is asked of you?
I'm sure the lady of the house would not want me discussing it, but I should not complain.
I should not complain, or I cannot complain.
That is not the most convincing answer, monsieur.
Between you and I, we all work very hard here, and it would be nice if we were rewarded for it.
Have you not been paid? It seems Monsieur Sterling is trying to convince me, as he has himself, that his light-fingered actions are justifiable due to the petite wage he receives for his honest work.
Please don't go anywhere. If I require more information, I shall call on you again.
Okay, let's speak to Inga. Inga? Hello.
Mademoiselle, I shall keep my questions brief.
I don't know what else I can tell you.
You have been honest with me so far. All I request is that you continue to do so.
Oui, détective.
I'm already aware of Mademoiselle's involvement with the blackmail, but I am not sure if she's also connected to the Major's murder. Tell me what happened before you found the Major in his study.
It was frantic in the pantry. We were working hard to make sure everything was up to scratch.
Go on.
Then Liz burst in, asking for Mamore's help.
Her help with what, exactly?
Oh no.
I don't know. She took Liz to one side, and I was needed in the salon. We spoke just after that in the pantry.
You did not question what she needed help with?
I was too busy. I
Oh,
love Liz,
I
but
think
she
I might
sheds
be
a tear
right.
at almost everything these days. Although, I have never seen her look so pale.
Mademoiselle Elizabeth still looked pale when I saw her earlier. I understand the amount of work that goes into keeping a house of this size running, but Madame cannot expect the staff to work if they are ill. Don't think she's ill, Poirot. Perhaps Mademoiselle Rihanna can clear up the reason for Elizabeth's panic.
Merci. I shall return if I have any further questions.
Hello.
Mademoiselle, I shall be as quick and precise with my questioning as possible.
Okay. What do you need?
My condolences on your brother's passing.
Merci. He was a good man. Taken too early.
Forgive me, mademoiselle, for not extending them earlier, but I was not aware of your relationship.
Dun dun dun.
He was my only brother. And he died doing what he believed was right. If I ever get my hands on who took him from me.
That would be the Major. I understand why she is angry for her brother to be taken from this world at such a young age and in such a violent manner. Violence cannot be met with violence, but I am not sure Mademoiselle feels the same. I kind of don't in all circumstances. Tell me about your brother's involvement in the riots at the factory.
You say the riots, but it was the strike he was part of. They started the riots, not the workers.
By they, you are referring to the security forces.
Militia.
They were brought in to keep the peace.
Strikebreakers.
Security, huh? They were brought in to make an example of them. It was all peaceful until they arrived.
Can we just arrest everybody?
Why would they need to make an example?
So that the workers would stop rallying. No one is going to go on strike if they think they'll get killed.
Sometimes it has the opposite effect.
The security you talk of were armed and ready. The workers were pigs to the slaughter. What chance did they have?
It's obvious Mademoiselle is still upset about her brother's death, and rightly so. If the events were as Mademoiselle describes, I cannot comprehend how the security forces were able to get away with such a despicable act of violence. There's something from the Major's army days that I feel is relevant to this, and I feel like the men that he's with, like in this militia, are relevant to that as well. Hopefully we'll find some more information about that at some point. Pardonnez-moi, Mademoiselle. I know we have spoken on this, but you took ice to the Major,
Yes.
correct?
This was before or after Archibald took him a bottle of whiskey.
Before.
You are sure?
It may have been after.
The whiskey is kept in the cellar with all the alcohol.
It is.
Then you must have noticed him going into the cellar and returning with a bottle through the pantry, no?
Yes, I suppose I did. It must have been before then.
It took only one question for Mademoiselle to doubt her own story. What I still cannot see is why the need for the lies. Tell me about Elizabeth yesterday.
What is there to say? Being locked away in the pantry, I don't see her for most of the day.
That may be. But she came looking for your help before dinner was served, did she not?
She wasn't feeling well, that's all.
Was she not feeling well, or was the Major not feeling well? You know what I mean?
And she came to you.
I told you, we are a family here.
Also, she's a
The
big,
girls come to
sturdy
Mama
woman, and
Reh if they
they're
have a
always
problem,
reliable.
and I fix it.
When I saw her earlier, I must admit she was not looking herself. Perhaps I should check on her.
No, just leave the poor girl. She'll be fine after another bowl of my homemade soup. She just needs her rest.
So everyone's protecting Elizabeth. Okay. I'm sure Mademoiselle Rihanna is a loving mother figure to the staff while away from their families, but her eagerness to keep me from seeing Mademoiselle Elizabeth again does not sit comfortably.
Merci, mademoiselle. That is all for now.
Okay. Let's have a look at our little mind maps, dig deeper into their suspicious activities. Okay. I don't know if the staff were involved, but they were definitely involved in the cover-up. Let's have a look. Archibald forgot he took whiskey to the Major. Murder man becomes Archibald stole from the Major. Elizabeth is quite upset. Worn out boots. I wonder if they... So the worn out boots, I would imagine... Okay. Because she doesn't pay the staff very well, they can't afford
Some would say a lucky
to
guess.
get their shoes repaired.
I would say a moment of genius.
I should have known at first glance these belong to a member of staff, but who? Staff members' boots. Okay. So, someone else wore the Major's coat. Maybe that's relevant.
Magnifique.
So they wore their own boots and the Major's coat. So if we find out who the boots belong to, we'll find out who was out in the snow. The staff member dressed in the Major's clothes and took his position out in the snow for the guests to see. Why would they do this? To hide the time of a crime. So, staff members impersonated the Major. Is it down here somewhere? Staff are covering for the real time of the death.
Order and method.
Damn!
That is the way to
Thought
solve
that
the
was a
problem.
way. Okay. Rihanna believes the workers didn't stand a chance. Rihanna claims she took... let's have a little look at Rihanna, because I feel Rihanna's unsure about the timings. Also, whiskey, so let's do that one.
Another success.
Because they
I
seem to be
never
talked about
doubted
together a
myself.
lot. Okay, how can either of them forget something so important from only the day before? Because it's a lie. They are unsure of their stories. Maybe that is That one, uncovering. There
I
we
should
go.
not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Both Archibald and Rihanna played the parts very well, but this is until they became complacent. Why does staff feel the need to fabricate stories to cover up? So, they have made up the stories. So it's someone.
What a revelation!
Okay. I almost had to relay their stories back to them both. I obviously cannot trust a word they have said. Why are the staff hiding the truth from me? Because they're protecting somebody, I think. Or they're protecting themselves. Oh, we've got one more. Oh. Staff are hiding the truth. Staff may be involved in the
Things
murder.
are beginning to become clearer.
It is a revelation I had not expected. I've been seeing this, to be honest. The staff were involved in the murder. While young Inga is guilty of her own crimes, associated with the blackmail, is Monsieur Sterling and Mademoiselle Rihanna that have been an integral part in covering up and obscuring the truth about how the Major was killed. So now, are they doing it for another member of staff, or are they doing it for a member of the family? Because there still are potentially the staff were already suspicious to begin with, but this confirms their involvement. Are all the staff members involved? Ooh. New mind map unlocked. I'm closer to revealing the truth about the Major's murder, but I must understand the roles that each and every person played before the final puzzle is complete. Okay. Let's have a little look here what we've got. So we've got Rihanna. Rihanna is distraught Luke passed away. Rihanna helped Elizabeth after coming downstairs. Elizabeth mourns for Luke. Elizabeth and Rihanna are connected via their grief
The
about
pieces
Luke.
of the puzzle are finally coming together.
I cannot imagine the pain they have felt since losing Luke. His memory will live on in their hearts. Elizabeth and Rihanna both grieve Luke. I mean, he didn't just die. He was like killed in a really terrible way by somebody that they work for. Elizabeth looked white coming down the stairs, and she also there we go.
I cannot see the logic
No,
in this.
okay. Rihanna helped
Perhaps a
Elizabeth
second
after
look at
coming
the
downstairs.
evidence in front of.
Okay. What else do we have? Staff are involved in murder. Inga feels disconnected from her peers. Archibald staged the phone call. Somebody in person. So, let me think. Elizabeth looked white coming downstairs, so we can assume that she is either involved
Some would say a
or...
lucky guess. I would.
Elizabeth looked pale, and the other members of staff were busy with their duties. She must have found the body, but did she play a part in the murder? I don't know. Maybe they assumed that she did. Elizabeth found the body, and then...
The pieces of the puzzle are finally coming together.
Although her duties are primarily focused in the kitchen and pantry, I don't recall seeing her. Rihanna wasn't seen after Elizabeth found the corpse. So we have two possibilities. Elizabeth killed the Major. Elizabeth found the body after whoever killed him, and the other staff think that Elizabeth killed him, so they're helping her cover it up. Or they are covering up for another member of the household. Let's have a little look. What we've got 3 more. Staff member impersonated the Major, and then Rihanna wasn't seen, so we can assume that was Rihanna. Impersonating the Major was Rihanna. Rihanna's role in the plan. Why it was necessary, I'm not sure of yet. To fudge the times. Why does she feel the need to cover for Elizabeth? Maybe they think... So either she did it or they think that she did it. Rihanna was covering for Elizabeth. Let's see. I think he...
I should not be surprised by my own skills of deduction.
Archibald's acting skills come into play to cover for a member of staff, but who? Archibald's covering for a member of staff. Let's connect those together, maybe.
Things are beginning to become clearer.
The staged phone call was Archibald's assignment. He went to great lengths to protect Elizabeth, but why did he feel the need to cover for Elizabeth? He thinks she did it. But I feel it's these two covering for Elizabeth. Let's have a look at Inga. She feels disconnected from her peers. Staff are involved in the... Yeah,
What a
I don't think
revelation.
she's involved. I'm confident Inga isn't part of the cover-up that has clearly been a focus of for the other staff. While young Inga is guilty of her own crimes associated with the blackmail, it's Monsieur Sterling and Mademoiselle Rihanna that have been an integral part in covering up and obscuring the truth of how the Major was killed. Okay, so Rihanna found the body. Either she did it and they're covering up for her, or she didn't do it and they think she did and they're covering up for her, or they know somebody else has done it and the staff are covering up for them. I now have all the pieces of the puzzle. I must return to my room and place them together until the results reveal themselves. Okay. It is time for my little grey cells to go to work. I'm so close to uncovering the truth. I hope it wasn't Rihanna, but I hope it wasn't Elizabeth, but I have a horrible feeling that it was. Oh, pressing the wrong button. Okay. So, let's have a look at case of the murder, the corpse. Archibald staged the phone call to cover for Elizabeth. Oh, Rihanna was covering for Elizabeth. Okay, let's do this.
Another success. I never doubted myself.
How could I have allowed this to slip through my grasp? Elizabeth is the murderer. Oh. But how did this happen? And did she really kill him? Like, I cannot believe I did not see it, blinded by my own trust. When I looked back now, the clues were there, staring me in the face. I spent my time chasing connections between the guests. Their motives and agendas were more than enough to raise suspicion, but while distracted by them, I failed to notice the one absent member of the household. What I still cannot grasp is why. I promised myself that after that fateful day in the capital, I would not let my judgment steer me adrift, but once again, it is I left looking the fool. There is nothing more that I can do tonight. I must at least try to get my head... Oh my god. There is nothing more that can be done tonight. I must at least try to rest my head in preparation for confronting Mademoiselle Elizabeth in the morning. And we will have to wait for that until the next Murder Mystery Monday, because that's chapter 8 done. If you would like to join me for chapter 9, the final chapter, there is an end card coming up with a link back into my channel. You can like, subscribe, watch some other videos, the whole shebang. And I shall see you soon for another Murder Mystery Monday. Bye bye.